Hi everyone, it's Don. Well, guess what? Nobody knows an answer to my questions. So what questions am I asking? What kind of really tough, daunting, hard questions am I asking? Okay, well, I tested positive here on the 30th of May. In 5 days is June 4th, which means my official quarantine period in the Netherlands is over. I'm allowed to leave my hotel, I'm allowed to go out without a mask, I'm allowed to do everything on June 4th. Great! Can I fly home? According to Canada, and according to the USA, I need to quarantine for 10 days. But to fly home to Canada, I don't need a COVID test. So what do I do? Am I supposed to fly home and then quarantine at home? Of course, I would wear it's Air Canada anyway. I would have to wear a mask on the plane anyway. But, I don't have a whole lot of choice in that matter. But then, do I have to quarantine when I get back to Canada more? What happens if I get one of those random tests? Because in Canada, they don't test everybody. You don't have to get a test to fly back, but they can pull you aside and give you a spot check when you land in Vancouver or Toronto. And if you test positive, you'll be sent a message to start quarantining. But will I have to quarantine for another 10 days? If that happens, is it 10 days from that period, or is it 10 days from my first infection? Will they be angry with me that I flew technically while still having COVID? But in one country, I don't have COVID anymore. You see the dilemma I'm in. According to where I caught COVID, which is here in the Netherlands, I will be cured and no longer infectious on the 4th. In Canada, I won't be uninfected until the 10th. Or the 9th, around that time. And I contacted some people. I contacted by email the Canadian consulate. I've contacted Air Canada. I contacted Princess Cruise Lines because I was trying to see if I can get on their ship. And I cannot get on the ship. I cannot get on the ship for a minimum until the 9th. By then the cruise is pretty much over. So I have a lot of questions that are unanswered. And no one seems to be able to give me a straight answer. I said, so tell me how this works, folks. I'm not infectious here, but I'm infectious there. I'm allowed to fly, but should I fly? I'm to the point now where I just throw my mask on, go to the airport, fly home, and see what happens. Right? I found it really funny. I was filling out the ArriveCan form, and it doesn't ask you anywhere on the form anymore if you have COVID. It just asks if you have fever or a cough. Well, I don't have a fever, and my cough is pretty much gone. So technically, I answer all the questions completely honestly. They don't ask you if you tested positive for COVID. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I want to be that responsible person, but I also want to go home. And no one will give me a straight answer. So I guess follow me and find out if I'm still here in the next video, or if I'm on a plane in the next video, or if I'm in jail for spreading COVID in the next video. It's a puzzling situation. It's very frustrating now because I've always been saying this, and we had this conversation on my last cruise here, is how in the world can the countries have not come together with one definitive answer and one set of guidelines? Canada and United States are as close and symbiotic as countries can be. We have normally free movement across the borders. We share information all the time. We're the friendliest neighbors in the world to each other. United Americans consider Canadians just Americans in the North who are smiling all the time. And, it's but we could not come up with the same rules. If I'm flying in the United States, do I need a COVID test? Yes. Am I flying into Canada? Do I need a COVID test? No. What? I mean, how could we not have just come up with one set of rules? Hey, this organization is in charge. Tell us our recommendations, and the rest of the world, and like Britain and Canada and the United States and Italy and all the countries who normally share information and everything are considered partners and considered, friendly. Here's our rules. We all have one set of rules. Everyone knows what they are. But no, we can't even have the same set of rules in our own countries. From states to provinces, they all had their own individual rules. This state is in lockdown. This state is in free, open, no masks. This state still wears masks. This one you can't fly in and out of. These provinces are closed to the rest of Canada. You can't go there from here. The border in Quebec and Ontario between two cities that are literally a half a mile apart from each other that everyone works together on was closed because we could not come up with one set of rules. And that is a huge failure in our politicians. A huge failure. And that means every politician, every single one of them, failed us. Because this should have been, if it's a global pandemic, why was there not a global force that took over, gave us our recommendations, gave us our guidelines, and we followed them? Crazy, right? Crazy idea that people should just unite and get together. Crazy idea. But that's not politics. And because of that, I'm still here in the Netherlands and cannot get a straight answer on whether or not I can go home.